Yesterday, Donald Trump delivered his first State of the Union address. This video is not about the contents of that address. I didn't watch it. I had a glass of wine and played video games, which seemed like a better use of my time than watching an actual fascist stand on stage telling cutesy stories about cops stealing babies from pregnant drug addicts and other fun anecdotes about living in a country that has once again been made great. But I do want to talk about a few of the attendees at the State of the Union, particularly Jim Bridenstine, Oklahoma Republican representative and Trump's nominee for NASA administrator, and his guest, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Now, Nye has been pretty outspoken about his politics, which don't particularly seem to line up with those of Bridenstine or Trump, to put it mildly. So it's a shock to see him in the crowd, especially considering that he wasn't there as any kind of protest, as were many other people in the crowd that day. For instance, the members of the Congressional Black Caucus attended, but they all wore kente cloth in honor of the shithole countries Trump criticized a few weeks ago. But Bill Nye wasn't protesting. On Twitter, he described his belief that space science should be bipartisan and a way of bringing people together despite their political differences. That's a nice sentiment, and I sympathize with the tough decision that he had to make on whether or not to attend the event. Unfortunately, whether or not science should be bipartisan has no effect on whether it is bipartisan. Now more than ever, science is just as partisan as kindness to immigrants, not sexually harassing women, providing health care to everyone who needs it. All of those things that are partisan but shouldn't be. Also, as an aside, all things that Jesus would have been totally cool with, but that's neither here nor there. Conservatives have been attacking science for centuries, and Trump has only made it more obvious and more critical. Trump's administration has actually silenced scientific communication more than 100 times in the past year, according to Columbia's Sabin Center for Climate Change Law. There are over 200 positions at the Environmental Protection Agency that have yet to be filled. Hell, Trump hired a man to run the EPA who had previously sued the EPA several times. Trump thinks climate change is a Chinese hoax and has said so at every opportunity. And now Trump has nominated the first ever congressional representative to run NASA, which is a position usually held by someone with, a science or engineering background. Bill Nye showing up as that representative's date to the State of the Union isn't going to make this administration more science-friendly. If anything, it made Nye into yet another prop for Trump to point to during his big show to say, look, I'm doing a good job. Bill Nye is here. I mean, if Bill Nye the Science Guy showed up to see the State of the Union, Trump can't be all that bad on science, right? Because Trump is all about optics. He cares deeply how many celebrities like him, how many people show up to watch his events. And what better science celebrity than Bill Nye to lend credibility to Trump's policies? Now, I'm not the only one who felt that Nye made a mistake taking that invite. The organization 500 Women Scientists wrote a scathing piece in Scientific American, absolutely ripping into Nye for supporting Bridenstine and Trump. They point out that as a representative, Bridenstine introduced legislation to remove the study of Earth sciences from NASA's mission statement. Bridenstine has since promised to not interfere with NASA's stated mission, but his feelings on it are so crystal clear that one can't help but be skeptical that he's really going to stay hands off on the organization that he's running when they're studying something that he doesn't believe in. 500 Women Scientists also point out that science is done by humans, and those humans at NASA are now being expected to work for a man who has campaigned to ban same-sex marriage, to prevent immigration, and to destroy the Department of Education. All of these things affect scientists negatively because scientists are gay, scientists are immigrants, scientists require schooling. All of these issues are interlaced. And Nye, by agreeing to be Bridenstine's arm candy, is tacitly saying that he values going to the moon and perhaps values his own fame more than he values the progressive politics that help good people do good science.